Welcome to the party, pal. It's Tuesday after dark. You're feeling neighborhood master chaos here. I hope you're well. Happy St. Patrick's Day as well. It is March 17th, 2026, and it is St. Patrick's Day. So you may or may not be watching this through a haze of alcohol, or maybe the morning after, your time with the toilet, and that means the vomiting part, not the diarrhea part, which, that's a story for another time. Maybe you will get diarrhea, but we're too early in the show to talk about diarrhea. I will reveal what I am drinking today. It's usually I get like an energy drink or some kind of fun soda. It is St. Patrick's Day, so I thought I'd bust out the beatbox. This is pink lemonade, 11.1 ounces of alcohol by volume. Should I shake it first? I don't think so, but I'll shake it anyway. This has actually been in my fridge for months. I hope it's still good. Whoa, that is strong as fuck. Anyway, it's Tuesday. We have a lot to talk about. So as a matter of fact, I'm going to tell you right here at the top of the show what we've got going on. Number one, this is going to be our first special guest episode on Tuesday After Dark. I'm going to be joined by Ryan Verrill from Disconnected. I'm sure you all know him. If you don't, go check him out. Link in the description. He's fantastic. And we're not only going to be talking about the Oscar winners, we're going to be talking about the Razzie winners, which you may or may not know of. And then we're going to dive into all his little side businesses. He's got this amazing thing where he does special features for physical media. And he started a distribution label for films. And as a filmmaker, I'm interested in discussing all those aspects of his life. And of course, we will touch on YouTube and all that good stuff. As we do when YouTubers get together, we always commiserate, as it is. But he's going to be joining us a little later. We do have a lot to cover. We're going to do the box office. We're going to do Blu-rays and 4Ks of the week. I've got some a weird story that popped up with Jaime Lee Curtis that just makes her look really bad. Some news about the Buffy TV show. I think there's something else, but I forget what it is. Nothing Leprechaun related, unfortunately. I couldn't find anything Leprechaun related except for the alcohol. So wherever you are, I hope you're enjoying something delicious. Coffee's, you're going to be coffee in the morning. Wherever you are, I hope you're enjoying something very, very good. Let me check in with the chat really quick here. Kubrick says, my friend and I watched Bottom of the Barrel after the Oscars on Lady Shawshaw's channel. Fantastic. Go check out that episode. It's super fun. We had BC, me, Blake, and Mel. So it was pretty much a reunion of the classic season 1 voyage. That was a hoot. And the movies were suitably shitty. Forgot the rewind says they snubbed the beak. They didn't. And I'll explain why when we get to the Oscars. There's a reason why James Van Der Beek was not mentioned specifically in that portion, the in memoriam portion. I swear to God, this is the first thing I've drunk today. I promise you. Anywho, bugaboo, let's get to it. We got a lot to cover before Ryan joins us here. We have the domestic for week 11. Did anybody see Hoppers? I didn't see it, but Hoppers is doing pretty well. Still number 1 in its second week of release with 28 million. Good for them. Reminders of Him, that's the new movie with Micah Monroe. Somebody tricked me and said that she gets naked in that, but it's PG-13, so I don't think that's possible. Tricked me. I didn't see it, though. 17 million. Good for them. Undertone, I didn't like it. I'll give you a quick review. Boring. Disappointing ending. Did not work for me. But it made almost $10 million, beating out Scream, pushing it down to number 4. Here's Scream in 4th place. However, it is at 106 million domestic, and if we highlight it real quick, which you know I'm going to, worldwide is at 177 million. It is the highest grossing movie in the franchise, and I believe, mark my words, it's going to be one that's going to age well. You may not like it now. I promise you. A lot of people didn't like Part 4. They hated it. I mean, it was the least performing one. And now that movie's beloved. 7's going to age well. Mark my words. Goat dropped to 5. The Bride plummeted to number 6. That's a movie that's not going to age well. A couple of re-releases that surprised me. Kiki got an IMAX release, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 was re-released. I had no idea. that these were out at all. I would have taken my kids to see too. We had just seen the first one. I got the 4K set. I would have taken them to see this. I did not know. I did not know this was in theaters. Crazy. But hey, look at that. It was in the top 10. So fantastic. Good for them. Slanted, a very strange movie that just opened up. It's an Asian girl who turns into McKenna Grace. Really strange. Nobody's talking about it, but it seems like it'd be kind of like a hot button issue kind of movie. Anyway, opened at number 14. Not great for that movie, but I think once more people know about it, we're going to get more word of mouth. Anyway, that's the box office. Hoppers reign supreme, but of course it is Pixar. You can never take Pixar for granted. Never underestimate them. Scream 7 still hanging in there. Closing in on 200 million. Probably in the next 2 weeks, we'll have that. Anyway, that's the box office. Let's go to New to Blue and 4K this week. Mimic 4K. Now, Mimic is a movie I saw in theaters. I didn't love it. I was like, wow, what a stupid movie. What a dumb concept. Roaches? They grow tall and look like people? It made no sense to me. So I only seen it the one time. Of course, this was an early Del Toro movie. I think it was his first American movie, I think. It was this, and then he made Blade 2, right? Anyway, maybe I'll revisit it, but I'm not buying the 4K anytime soon. This is weird. Jurassic Park 4K, this has been out forever. Ilsa, Tigress of Siberia. This is the third Ilsa film. I've got my pre-order coming in soon. Can't wait. Love those movies. Well, love those movies. They're freaking disgusting, but I like them. Because there's boobs. Anyway, Substitute 4K. That's coming out from the Vestron collection. Class 2 Risque. That's from Criterion. That's the 4K. That's a really good movie. Got a great cast in that film. K2. Been a minute since I've seen K2, but I do enjoy that film. Crazy that Matt Craven gets top billing in that one. Port of Shadows, another Jean Gabin movie. Really good. That's not Criterion though. I don't know who put that one out. Anaconda. I don't know if anyone saw the Paul Rudd, Jack Black Anaconda. I loved it. I thought it was a lot of fun. I don't know. I'm into stupid comedies. It made me laugh. What can you say? By the way, if you're watching live, drop a thumbs up on the video. Thank you so much. Highly appreciate that. It helps the video. Helps the channel. It's your ticket to the show. And I've got a poll going right now. Did you watch the Oscars? Yes? No? I just saw clips. Or who the hell is Oscar? Go ahead and make your voice heard, please. Housemaid is out now on physical media. It looks like at least a 4K. That was a good little movie. I like that. A really good twist on that. I really did enjoy that. Good Boy. I enjoyed Good Boy. Is this thing on? I thought that was good too. Return to Silent Hill. Well, that was quick to physical. I didn't like that one. I did not like that one. The Birthday. I'm not familiar with it, but it stars Corey Feldman, so I am trepidatious to say the least. Lone Samurai, that sounds good. 4K, don't know anything about it, but it looks good. Well, it's a Jean Gabin week. Another Jean Gabin movie. Marguerite Sees Red, kind of a detective movie there. Solo Leveling gets the season 2 box set. We Bury the Dead, I like that one. I thought that was pretty interesting. For a zombie movie, I thought it was very, very unique. And then Dead Again is getting a Blu-ray. That's interesting. I feel like that's been out already, but I may be mistaken. Anyway, there you go. That's what's coming to physical this week. Nothing too incredible beyond Ilsa and Housemaid. There's a little nudity in Housemaid if you really want that. The Mooch says, speaking of boobs, I've watched Big Boob Busters, and they do indeed bust them boobs. Thumbs up. Yes, good film. I reviewed it for members only on the channel here. By the way, good time to mention, become a member if you would like to get some exclusive reviews. I'm only doing specific review, almost all exclusive reviews for members only. Join button down below if you'd like to know more. Moving on, I'm going to make this quick because I want to make sure we have time for Ryan. June titles announced for Criterion. We have Eclipse series number 6. Really? That's not more than 6 Eclipse series, so maybe this is different. Carlos Saura's Flamenco Trilogy. It Was Just an Accident, which is a film that was up for Oscars this year. This year. Desperate Living is coming to Criterion along with Hairspray. I'm excited to get Hairspray at least. Not a big fan of Desperate Living, but Hairspray, I'm going to be grabbing that for my daughter. She's a big fan of that movie. And you can get it in 4K. Then Magellan, I'm not familiar with that one, or High Art. I'm not familiar with either of those films. But then we have a film called West Indies, The Fugitive Slaves of Liberty. This is all available in June, FYI. And there is a sale in July, so I would wait, personally. And then, of course, at the beginning of June, Charade is coming, 4K. Beautiful. Oh, and 5 Easy Pieces. I can't forget 5 Easy Pieces. That's not my favorite movie, to be honest. I didn't love it, but it's you know, if you're above Rafelson, Nicholson fan, then go grab it. Let's talk real quick about Jaime Lee Curtis. She said some shit that did not sit well with me. So here she says, the only reason I'm sitting in this chair today is because of Jason. Jason Blum, who runs Blumhouse, is the one who brought back the Halloween movies. Then she later says this. If they had come to me and said, it's going to be a trilogy, I don't think I would have said yes, she said. Jason Blum is notoriously cheap. How do you make low-budget movies? You don't pay people. That's the model. That took me by surprise. But first of all, Jason Blum is her friend now, and she's calling him in public cheap? And that she didn't know it was a trilogy? I don't believe her. She further elaborates. While we were editing and doing the mix, David said, you know it's a trilogy. And I was like, no. I went to Jason Blum and I said, I have some ideas. Maybe you could give me a first look deal. Just pay me a little money, she recalls. I said to Jason, how about a little development deal? And I owed him 2 Halloween movies. So what was he going to say? I don't believe her. So here's not only does she throw Blumhouse under the bus, but she says I didn't know it was a trilogy. I don't believe her. Am I alone in that? I can't believe. I can't believe I'm alone in that. She has to have known. She's a producer on the movies. How would she not have known? And she says notoriously cheap. The first Halloween was like $80 million or more. That's not a cheap movie at all. What is she talking about? This kind of pissed me off and made me look at her a different way. I'm not a fan of hers anymore. De Niro, I did do the Exorcismo set. It's set for the highest tier, though. So I don't know where you are in terms of members, because it's a big review. But every Friday for members, I will have one physical media review pop up for every member on every tier. This rubbed me the wrong way. I don't know why she did that. I really don't know why she did that, and honestly, it frankly pisses me off that she would throw her team under the bus like that. It's a shame. That bummed me out. Anyway, moving on. Let's drink to the franchise. And TV news. I mean, this is not surprising, but it's good to know. I didn't think it was gonna be good, but let's talk about it. Who's a Buffy fan? I don't know how many people are or remember the show. I grew up with Buffy. I was massively in love with Sarah Michelle Gellar, and I love the show. But I was not happy about the idea of a reboot. So she was at South by Southwest. It was her first time at South by Southwest. It was also her first time on the big screen in almost 20 years. This was, as Gellar says, a really big day, a fun day. And then she got the phone call. I was just about to take the stage in front of all the fans. Then she found out that Hulu had decided not to move forward with the Buffy revival. Let me tell you, nobody saw this coming. Since the series that made Gellar a star left the air in 2003, fans have been clamoring for Buffy Summers to come back. And she almost did. For several years, Gellar and Oscar-winning director Chloe Zhao, yes, the Hamnet director, have been working to revive the show for Hulu. Pretty insane. I've been asked since the day I left to return to Sunnydale, and it never occurred to me that it was something I was going to do. Then, 4 years ago, Chloe, the witch that she is, and I say that as a good thing, comes into my life. In one meeting, she makes me say yes to something I never saw on my radar. That was because of the deep love and commitment and passion she had for this character. It was like I was stepping back in time. Gellar and Zhao filmed a pilot episode for what would have become a full series reboot, which would have brought Gellar's character and introduced a new Slayer, Ryan Kira Armstrong, to star alongside her. Chloe and I talked a lot, says Geller, who loved where the show was headed. The dialogue flew off the tongue. When I was on set, it was craziness. It was like, oh, we're here. We're doing this. I love the duality that we had this new, younger Slayer who was where Buffy was when the show started, and then we would pick up with where Buffy was now. So, I don't know that they went into details on what happened exactly, but Hulu watched the pilot and they weren't into it. Now, this is pretty crazy. You've got somebody like Chloe Zhao who just directed a really hot, Oscar-winning film, and Sarah Michelle wanting to come back. Pretty insane that they said no. My guess is that the pilot was really bad. That's the only thing I can think of. The pilot was really bad. They're like, oh, no, we can't do this. We cannot do this. It's unfortunate, but that doesn't mean it's over. I don't know if they mentioned it here or not, but maybe they can shop it to Netflix. You never know. Netflix is buying everything nowadays. So there's a chance. I can't imagine it's dead. But then again, she doesn't own the IP. Let's see. Additional sources say the door is open for more Buffy and that there's a lot of love for the IP at Hulu, as Hulu is mulling over what a next step could look like. So maybe this iteration is dead, but Chloe Zhao's Buffy the Vampire Slayer reboot will not be going forward. I see my guest waiting in the wings, so I'm about to switch over to the rest of the show. But that's pretty much all I had news-wise and release-wise. I do want to highlight this real quick. This episode is sponsored by Leprechaun Pea. Get a taste of pure energy. Leprechaun Pea energy drink. It's magically delicious, now in sour gold. That's right. The most delicious of leprechaun drinks for your drinking purpose. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to bring on my very special guest, someone who I've followed for a while, and it's been a long time coming. It's been a while since he's actually been on the channel. So this is a reunion of sorts. Ladies and gentlemen, Ryan Verrill.
I don't think I've ever been introduced by Leprechaun Bee before. That was a nice lead-in.
Well, I wanted to find the right sponsor to highlight your achievements, and Leprechaun Pete came through. And I'm like, let's do it.
Make your money. I get it.
How you doing, brother?
Doing well. It's been, like you said, quite some time. We've both gotten quite a bit busier in our lives since the last time we did something like this together.
Oh, absolutely, man. Yeah, both creatively and YouTube wise, and I definitely want to dive in to all of the stuff you got going on, because it's everything from someone's favorite to Antenna. All that stuff is it's really going to be the bulk of the conversation, but I want to save that kind of stuff for the end. Since you're probably going to talk about this on Thursday anyway. For those of you who don't know, he does a live Thursday show, and you've been doing that like regular, dude. Have you missed an episode yet?
I technically 2 weeks ago, I had somebody else host the show as I was at a film festival for the company. But other than that, I've been every single Thursday minus once way back in 2022, I think it was, where I was at a Dodgers game in the broadcast van. So that was a pretty good excuse. But yeah, this August will be 5 years straight with only ever once with it not being on air.
Incredible. Well, you were a big inspiration for my Tuesday thing, and you were definitely one of the first people I wanted to bring on. You are the first guest we've had on this, so thank you for that. Thank you for making time.
What an honor. Thanks. I mean, obviously, I've loved a lot of your stuff for a long time. We've followed each other for the longest time. We've had you with Doug fucking Bradley on my channel. Like,
that's right.
Life has been very interesting for both of us.
Man, yeah, and which I guess is good, and we'll talk about life stuff, but let's delve into like the geeky movie stuff right now, because this is the fun stuff that we get. That usually I would just talk about this by myself, but I'd like to share this with you. I know you're obviously a big movie fan. What are your thoughts on the Oscars? Did you watch it? Is it something you get caught up in?
Yeah, I mean, I've explained it to people like this. It doesn't have an effect on my life, but being a movie fan, this is the day that the world celebrates movies. And so based on that, I'm going to be all about them cheerleading for it. I'm probably never going to miss it as much as I can. It's something that, like it or not, impacts the future of the industry. Even though that's kind of BS that it does. It's a silly thing, but I mean, you can't really affect that. I think that overall it was a very unique ceremony in the history of the ceremonies. Lots of tech mess ups, lots of very rude cutoffs at the mic, which I thought was pretty crazy. Great wins though for the most part. I think this is the best year I've done forecasting wins. I think I got 21 out of 24 depending on how you count the tie. Nobody really ever votes that there's going to be a tie, so that would have been 22 for me.
Fantastic. We did a score sheet, but we have not actually gone through the entire award show ourselves. We just kind of saw clips because I don't have live TV. So,
Yeah.
and then I signed up for Hulu, but it was the wrong one. It was like, oh, this one doesn't have live TV. I'm like, oh, come on.
Right.
So we're sort of working our way through it. But I know all the big winners. Let's talk about Best Picture real quick. Obviously, one battle after another. Early front runner. What are your thoughts on the 10 nominees, and what was your favorite?
I was a big fan of Sinners this year. I think that it is the most pop culture intensifying film. I think One Battle is technically a marvel, just the same as Sinners. I think we had two really kind of outliers that were nowhere near as good as the other 8, with that being F1 and Frankenstein. I know that I'm kind of an outlier in Frankenstein. A lot of people think that it's amazing. It's all right. I don't see it being one of the best of the year. In all reality, I had about 10 other films that could have slotted in nicely in those 2 slots, but they did what they got to do, and F1 is a quite mainstream film, so I get it. They need something like that to appeal to people.
Yeah, I loved F1 though, but it didn't feel like a Best Picture movie for sure.
Right.
My favorite was Train Dreams,
Great movie.
and I'm glad it got some love, even if didn't win anything. No one really talks about it. But at least it was in the conversation, so good for that movie. One Battle, it's obviously from the beginning when it was released, was sort of an underdog because people didn't really know much about it except the Paul Thomas Anderson thing, and then quickly, Best Picture, and then Marty Supreme came out of nowhere. So where were you when the whole Marty Supreme One Battle after another? Were you ever swayed, or did you feel like, it's One Battle's win no matter what?
I thought Sinners had an actual chance. I had Marty Supreme at a not distant, but an out of it kind of third. I thought it was great. I actually saw Marty Supreme twice in theaters, or once in theaters, once at home on a screener, and great movie. I mean, I don't really need to fault it. It's obviously nominated for multiple things for a reason. The movie was shot wonderfully. It is entertaining through and through. Was it deserving of winning? No. I mean, in many other years, it might have been the best one, but this year is a damn good year.
It was. I mean, and I'm with you on Frankenstein. I think it was just because of Del Toro that it was slotted in, but honestly, it's probably his weakest movie. Recent movie, I should say. I mean, I'm not counting Mimic, but for somebody who loves practical effects, it felt too digital to me. Yep. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's going to be an ongoing thing with Hollywood. They're leaning more towards that.
Unfortunately, Best Director, of course, went to Paul Thomas Anderson. And I think it was, to your point, it was between him and Ryan Coogler. How do you feel about PTA taking it?
I mean, I almost feel like this is one of those career awards more than anything, because they probably feel like he should have gotten it before. That being said, Coogler's bound to get one of those eventually. He's got many more films under his watchful eye coming up soon. But PTA, who knows how many left he'll do. He always takes his time, so this might be it. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think this is exactly what it is. I mean, he's been up for director before. It's not Coogler's time, but who knows? Maybe Sinners 2 or something, or a Return of the King kind of situation. Who knows?
Yeah.
Michael B. Jordan wins for Sinners. To some people, this was an upset. I think because they thought Timothy would take it. But do you think any of the controversy with his ballet and opera comments hindered that?
No, that supposedly the voting was done before those comments came in, so that could not have affected anything. That being said, I mean, Timothy, for me at least, I'm judging best acting for somebody that needs to actually stretch to act, and Michael B. Jordan playing two very different characters very distinctly in a way that is not like him in any of the scenes is great. Timmy played a narcissist really well, and that's what he is. So, I mean,
Yeah.
he wasn't stretching.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. He basically played himself, just kind
Yeah.
of like a guy who loves himself and thinks he's the best. So
Exactly.
a little too perfect. This was a slam dunk. Jessie Buckley for Hamnet. She was incredible. My second best, I think, Rose Byrne. If I
She was
had
amazing.
legs, oh my god, incredible, dude. Were you a Hamnet
Incredible
fan?
movie. I liked Hamnet, but I gotta be honest, I liked If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You probably slightly more. That being
Okay.
said, I never want to watch it again. It's one of those movies. I think that it's one that I could recommend to certain people, but I don't want to watch it with you. That's all right. That's enough for me.
That's exactly what I told my wife. I mean, we have a son. He's type 1 diabetic, so it's a chronic condition. And so I identified with her throughout
Yeah.
the whole movie. It's stressful, man. Like all these little things you have to do and find time for yourself and all that stuff. And so I was describing it to my wife, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm never watching that," you know. But she's so good in it. She's so good in it. And just incredible stuff. But yeah, but Jessie Buckley, she, you know,
This
look,
was a lock.
it was a lot. She played the mother of a child who passed, and it was connected to Shakespeare, and there was all this kind of like, operatic, kind of poetic cinema language. I mean, it felt like, yeah, it was hers.
Indeed. And honestly, she crushed it. There's not a question here. It's not like somebody was giving her a gimme. She earned every single moment of this.
Absolutely. And Emma Stone, I mean, I like Begonia, but I feel that was like, I don't want to say it was a Guillermo del Toro thing, but it kind of was like the Meryl Streep, like, oh, just give her a nomination because she's there. But she was good in it. She was good.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, I think Emma Stone should not have been nominated, and it probably should have been Amanda Seyfried for The Testament of Anne Lee. That was actually my third favorite film of the year, and I'm still pissed that nobody got nominated for that film.
I just watched that, and and she's awesome. She like literally awesome. I felt the movie was a little heavy-handed, and I didn't love the dancing stuff. I think that threw it off for me. But it's crazy how that movie, you're right, was completely ignored.
Crazy coming from essentially the same team from The Brutalist, a year after The Brutalist, but supposedly, I guess there was like I don't want to call it a bidding war, but like a contract thing of when they're going to put it out, and I think they just chose too late, because the reality is I saw it at a film festival back in November, and I think that gave me enough lead time to ingest it. I didn't even get a chance to see it when it finally came out, and I don't think it came out wide until end of January. That's just too late for a film like that. If you want people time to sit with that, that needed to be a early December release, probably.
Yeah, and I think it probably could have developed some kind of cult hit kind of thing because of the music and everything.
Yep.
Yeah, crazy to me, man. What was also crazy was Sean Penn not showing up to win Best Supporting Actor. Now, obviously he's done this before. You can see Delroy Lindo was not happy. But I think Delroy should have taken it. What do you think?
I agree with Delroy. Honestly, they should have given it to him for Into Five Bloods. But whatever. I mean, Sean was also great. He was like the definition of a supporting actor. He lifted up the film in every possible way. He stole a lot of the scenes that he was in. That being said, rumor is he was literally in Ukraine helping people, victims of a war, while this was going on. So if that's the case, I mean, good excuse. So I'm not gonna
Okay, see, I didn't know that. I thought he was just like at home eating chips or whatever.
would not
but no.
surprise me either. Let's be honest.
A pleasant surprise. Amy Madigan wins for Gladys. This is really incredible. I was super happy about it. Where did you land on this?
It's nice that for the 18th time in the last calendar year, we get to say horror's back, baby. Horror's always been here, and the fact that the Academy is recognizing it is not necessarily a surprise. We've been going that way as the voting members get younger and younger. We saw that last year with Demi getting nominated. We've seen certain people get nominated that would have been a surprise a decade ago. this makes a lot of sense. She is, again, the definition of supporting actress. There is not a single scene in this movie that she's in that someone else outshines her. So she deserved it.
I mean, the fact alone that the movie would not be the movie without her.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? She is the movie.
Yep.
So absolutely, and and it's a career win. So good for her.
Sure.
Absolutely happy. I mean, everybody in that category is great. Sentimental value. The entire cast is fantastic.
Love that movie.
Yeah. Oh man, that was really good. Best adapted went to Paul Thomas Anderson. He was working off of the Pynchon novel. I wasn't familiar with the novel. Did you know the work?
I knew that it existed. I have not read it. I'm not a Pynchon fan, I gotta be honest. That being said, this was, again, almost as much as Jesse Buckley, just an absolute lock for a win.
Absolutely. It's funny you mentioned the Pynchon thing. I read 2 of his books, and by the end I'm like, I don't know what I just read,
Right?
So I'm like, all right, I'll just wait for PTA to make the movie of this, and I'll understand
appreciate it.
Yeah. I'm glad that Train Dreams got a little bit of recognition there as well. I believe it was a novella or something, like a short story.
Which, what they adapted it to, genuinely a feat of screenplay. Like, the fact that they could pull that off, and then some of the shots from the end of Train Dreams will literally never leave my mind.
Oh my God. And I tell people, like, there's this incredible movie on Netflix, and they're like, yeah, right. And then, well, here it is, nominated for Oscars, and it didn't really get much press, which is unfortunate, but I'm a sucker for a great movie with a narration that, like, just hits you in the feels. This had it. The Man Who Wasn't There had it, which is coming to 4K. I think it's already out from Criterion. I love a good narration. This movie just perfectly, hit the feels for me. So please go see Train Dreams if you haven't. Best Original, it's controversial for me, but I don't know. Let me know where you land, because I know you like Sinners. Ryan wins for Sinners, but to me, Sinners felt a lot like From Dusk Till Dawn. Where do you land on that discussion?
I think that is very elementary to say it feels like From Dusk Till Dawn. Sure, they both have vampires, but they're very, very different stories, telling very different cultural appreciations and cultural backgrounds. Not to mention, if you compare, like, the actual character growth in Sinners and From Dusk Till Dawn, oh boy, we have a character called Sex Machine. And we have, like, inherent Irish racism. Those are very, very different things. And I think that he did deserve it. The only one that I think would have come close for me, Blue Moon, is an absolute masterpiece. And even though Ethan Hawke is the standout of that, you could read the script of Blue Moon to me, and I would be enchanted the entire time.
That's the one I have not seen yet. I'm dying to see that. So you give it thumbs up?
Big thumbs up. It's crazy because Ethan Hawke was nominated for lead actor, of course, and he is one of those people that he's a great actor. We all know that, but he does disappear into this role in a way that you're like, I don't even know that that's Ethan Hawke. And then at the end, he puts on a hat and you go, Ethan Hawke, when did you get here? It's the funniest thing, because the hat immediately brings you back into it. It's wild.
Interesting. Okay, well, that's the top of my list. Animated feature, it was no surprise to think that everyone kind of felt K-pop Demon Hunters would get it. This was a fun discovery me and my son made on Netflix. We kind of were laughing at it like, oh my God, this is going to be terrible. And then we ended up loving it. How do you feel about... By the way, all of these nominees were good, except I didn't see Zootopia 2, but all the other ones were phenomenal movies. Where do you land on animated?
I think they made the right choice. I think all of them would have been great choices as well, including hearty recommend for Zootopia 2. Even if you didn't like the first one, this is a movie made by cinephiles. There's outright references to lots of things that you love, lots of things that you will immediately get an adult chuckle out of, and not because it's a crass joke, but because you're like, oh, they're straight calling back to The Shining in 3 scenes in a row here, and that's amazing. And it's pretty great.
Fantastic. I'm going to put this on everyone's radar. Arco and Little Amelie are wonderful films, and you probably will never really hear about them unless you specifically go look for them. Little Amelie alone, I think, is just such a very simple movie, very, very close to Train Dreams in terms of, like, simple purity of the poetry of life. So go check those out, because they're not going to find their way to you, unfortunately. Those movies stay hidden. And then best international feature, a sentimental value of that was my favorite. I did not connect with The Secret Agent. Where do you land on international?
If this is the list of nominees, I think they made the right choice. I think no other choice would have been my choice. That's a terrible sentence. I should not have said it like that. I think something happened with him and the Writers Guild or something years ago, and nobody votes for Park Chan-wook for anything, so he'll never win an award, I guess. But the reality is no other choice is a masterpiece, sentimental value. A very close second for me. Secret Agent, I agree with you. I think the performances in it are monumental, just ridiculous, because most of them are not even actors. They're just regular old Joes, and they pull that off very well. That being said, the story's a little messy to me. I feel like it didn't know the story it was trying to tell at certain points of the film. And other than the opening with the gas station scene and then the chase scene, which anybody that's seen it knows what I'm talking about, I think the rest of the movie is fine, and maybe slightly better than fine. But is it best international feature worthy? No.
I'm glad you brought up No Other Choice. It's crazy because when it first popped up, everybody's like, "Oh man, clearly this is going to be the best international win," and then you just kind of vanished. And so yeah, I had no idea about the guild issue, but that's a shame. Is that when would that have happened? Like with Stoker or?
So I believe like he got accused of being a scab and having somebody work during a strike or something, but I'm not entirely sure.
Okay. Well, that's a shame, but yeah.
The Academy is known to hold a grudge, though. By the way.
We'll stop at documentary feature. I did not get a chance to see any of these. Did you see any of the documentary features?
I did. This is one that I missed, actually. I really thought The Perfect Neighbor was going to win this one. Not only was it popular, it was a Netflix release, so a lot more people saw this one. I genuinely thought it was a special documentary, and recommend you check it out, primarily because, to me, the feat of this is that probably 75% of the movie is told through body cam footage, and that it's a coherent narrative, and that you understand the story, and they don't really miss anything. It's very impressive on how they made it and were able to actually get a package put together simply with body cam footage. Fully worth your time.
Incredible. Yeah, my daughter watched it and she thought she told everybody, vote for that. That's gonna win. And I guess not.
Yeah, it deserved it, I think.
Interesting.
With you being a physical media person, I do want to point out, I think it's hilarious that most people in the chat, and you and I, we all love Kino Lorber. They're great people. They put out too many disc releases, we'll be honest. They're releasing Mr. Nobody Against Putin on DVD in 2026. DVD. Whoa. It's an Oscar winner, and it's not going to be released on HD. What are we doing?
That is very odd.
Yes.
There has to be a reason for that. I can't. You're in releasing. Could there be some kind of contract issue that DVD is the only format?
No. I guarantee you, this is Frank Tarza going, documentaries don't sell. Just put it on a DVD. Nobody cares.
Jeez, man. That's bizarre.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if you guys want to grab the DVD, Kino will have it out. Let's switch up things slightly. The Razzies just listed their winners. The big win was, of course, War of the Worlds, the Amazon movie starring Ice Cube. Did you see this? Were you a fan of this?
This is where my knowledge is going to falter. Unfortunately, I think out of all of the nominees, even, I've only seen 2 or 3 films on the entire list, not just of the worst picture, but of the entire list. You watch a lot of movies. How many movies did you see in theater last year?
Oh God, I don't
just
keep
an
track.
Estimate.
Oh, maybe 100. I don't know, something like that.
I saw 129 in theaters last year, which is my best year I've ever had by a long shot. And I absolutely chose to not prioritize any of these because they all looked like absolute dog shit.
Oh, man. Well, you didn't miss anything. War of the Worlds is indeed pretty bad. It's basically this as a War of the Worlds movie. It's not great. Worst actress went to Rebel Wilson in Brideheart, another movie I didn't see that.
I actually tried to see this one in theaters, but the timing didn't work out, so I had to skip it. It looked fun, but I'm not a Rebel Wilson hater, so.
Yeah, I like her. It was on our list for a while, but I guess they thought it was that bad. Ice Cube, of course, War of the Worlds. I mean, it's not his fault. It's just the performance he was able to give, you know?
Yep.
This is a movie I'm not familiar with. Scarlett Rose Stallone. Stallone's daughter was in something called Gunslingers. Did you see that?
Hey, I got to be honest, I did not hear about it until I checked out the nominations. My vote easily would have been for The Strangers Chapter 2. I think that is one of the absolute worst movies of the last 5 years. I don't know. I have a feeling she won simply because her last name is Stallone. I got to be honest.
Yeah, I think so too. Worst supporting actor, all the seven dwarves in the Snow White movie.
This is a movie I started and tuned out almost immediately. Gal Gadot, she is off-putting. I will say that.
I love Gal Gadot, but she's got to be in Fast and the Furious type movies for it to work for me. You know, War of the Worlds wins worst remake ripoff sequel. I mean that one's definitely going home with a lot of raspberries or whatever the hell they're called. Worst screen combo, all seven dwarves. I think that was. I like that it was Ice Cube and his Zoom camera were nominated.
I always love how we'll say innovative they get with what they nominate on a couple of these categories.
Pretty amazing. Who was it? Oh my God. Paul Verhoeven showed up for one of the awards I think for Showgirl. Yeah, how awesome is that? I love that. Rich Lee for War of the Worlds, director. It is a pandemic movie, so it's he did what he could, but I'm just playing devil's advocate.
It's 2025. Like everybody else did real movies.
I mean, apparently they filmed it in 2020, and yeah, that's what I heard. Unless they're bullshitting, but that's what I heard.
I do got to be honest. I think it would be hilarious to see the behind-the-scenes feature of a movie where it's literally just him sitting in a chair the entire time, and the director standing 4 feet in front of him wearing a mask, telling him, "No, little to the left," the entire time.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, now look up. Great. Okay, good. Cut. We got it. War of the Worlds won Best Screenplay. Razzie Redeemer went to Kate Hudson. I guess she had gotten a lot of Razzies before. So there you go. And there was a movie that was mentioned that I'm not familiar with, and I wanted to see if you had heard of. Alarum. Stallone's in it.
I had heard of it, but only in passing. I've not seen it. I think it was a direct-to-streaming movie, if I remember right, which, what a fall from grace. Got to say that about Stallone.
I know somebody who produced a movie with Stallone, and I will say this: fall from grace, sure, but the guy can work for 2 days and get $4 million. So, you know, good for him. All right, well, that's sort of our fun movie talk discussion, and now you're my special guest, and I super super pumped to hear, but all the fun stuff you got going on. Number one, I want to start with something that blew my mind. I'm like, oh my God, he's doing that? That's incredible. Let's talk about someone's favorite. Now, you get to do special features. Tell me how that started up.
Yeah, back in May of 2024, Will Dotson, who's my collaborative partner, and myself, we both saw a tweet at the same time and reached out to Cauldron Films. Jesse was asking if anybody had any expertise on the subject, and we both messaged him unbeknownst to each other saying that we'd both like to do it. And Jesse said, well, we already filled that spot, but do you both happen to want to be on this Jess Franco title? And for those that don't know Will Dotson is the biggest Jess Franco fan in the world. So he immediately was like, yes, we would love to do it. And Jesse was like, okay, why are you both messaging me? We said, oh, we are? We had no idea. So we got on that commentary, and funny enough, that disc hasn't even been released yet. It just got announced. That's the Jack the Ripper 4K. That's finally about to come out. So check that out when it comes out. But that started, and then following that, Brad from TerrorVision and I had been talking behind the scenes about a lot of things, and he asked me to come on and help produce discs for TerrorVision, and I was like, I mean, yeah, this is one of the things I'd love to do. And in the meantime, we started doing special features behind the scenes for TerrorVision. I started hiring people. We've worked on I don't know, 40 discs for TerrorVision, something like that. Tons
Wow.
of which have not even come out yet. So still lots more to come from them. It's been a crazy time, but now, I mean, we've worked on stuff from Severin, we've worked on stuff from Shout, we've worked on stuff from Film Masters, Saturn's Core, Imprints, giant titles. And I feel so fortunate to be able to do it. We get to lift up voices that are not really a part of this world and get people associated with this world. So it's been really nice to bring people into the fold and get them used to, being essentially looked at as a subject matter expert, which they are.
That's incredible, dude. I always wondered how those special features come together. So I'm gonna go into the minutia a little bit, if you can share, some of the behind the scenes things. Let's say you get a movie, like I think you'd mentioned, or I remember you made a comment, or we had talked about Spider Labyrinth. You guys you worked on that, but you weren't familiar with that movie. So right, so how does that? How do you do special features for a movie you've maybe not seen or weren't familiar with?
Well, not only had we not seen or been familiar with, in our research, we found that there was essentially zero film criticism in the English language on Spider Labyrinth. And so it was all us. We were translating as much as we can from back then, mostly doing research on the cast and crew, which is a little more available. But then, of course, we want to talk about the production. And so we researched just as much as we could. And usually it's in reference to Spider Labyrinth when they're talking about another work. And so based on that, you kind of build the, pardon the pun, but the web of how this film connected all these people and how the film in this part of the world at that time was being made. And we find out things like, essentially, they were trying to make like their own version of VH1 and had this underground, not like cave system or anything, but like underground studios that they were filming things in for music videos. And that was used for this. And so that was one of our big discoveries that we led down. And yeah, now we've got a visual essay on the disc. We've got an audio commentary on the disc. And we're essentially the only English speakers to have been film historians on Spider Labyrinth.
That's incredible. And that's cool, too, because then they come to you because they trust you guys to do the research, even though you're not like, oh, we're like the ultimate fans of Spider Labyrinth or whatever. Can you speak about another project maybe that it kind of sort of came to you blind? You're like, where do we even start with this?
Yeah, I mean, one that is even probably bigger than that is the film Jade, William Friedkin's Jade. So Vinegar Syndrome put that on in 4K. That was 2 Novembers ago, so that would have been in 2024. Was a big deal. Everybody was stoked on it. This is one of those erotic thrillers that you kind of love or hate. It's a weird one. It's the unrated cut is a little bit better, or the director's cut, whatever they call it. And a lot of people had only ever seen the theatrical cut, so it's kind of so-so. And so Imprint was putting this out in Australia, and they were like, listen, I know Vinegar Syndrome put this out. Is there anything else you can do? And of course, I was like, hell yeah, we can. So we reached out and got Nina K. Martin, the author of the book on erotic thrillers, to do a commentary with Will Dodson on the disc. And I reached out and got Augie Hess, who is the associate editor on Friedkin's Jade. And Augie is known for being the one that put together the big director's cut of The Exorcist way back in like 2003. Wow. And so I was very familiar with him as an editor, which is kind of a weird thing to be familiar with somebody as, because when I was younger, the film that made me appreciate horror in a spiritual sense, which as somebody that's made an exorcism movie yourself, you know exactly what that's like. I fell in love with the director's cut specifically of The Exorcist. And considering he was essentially the one that ruined my life for 5 years and terrified me, I went, you know what? I would love to get this guy in a commentary and maybe an interview. And we did just that. I reached out to a friend of a friend, got him on camera, got him as part of a commentary with another film historian I love. And now the disc is loaded. I think it blows the Vinegar Syndrome one out of the absolute water. 2 brand new commentaries, a really wonderful interview. Plus, produced a brand new visual essay by Michelle Kisner, who is absolutely incredible at what she does. And the disc is kind of amazing, I gotta be honest.
That's incredible. We have a question from the chat. I don't know if you can answer. Zach says, any idea when we will get Gator Bait?
Yes, I do have an idea, because we are the second and third commentary we ever recorded was Gatorbait and Gatorbait 2. Gatorbait 1 has long been authored. The disc is essentially ready. Gatorbait 2, as everybody has heard from TerrorVision, they are not lying when they say this. We announced that we were going to do this and that the last reel was missing, so it's going to look a lot worse than the rest of the film. 4 different times we had people reach out and say, hey, no, I've got it. You can scan my reel and we can make it look great. And we're not going to just put it out and realize 2 months later that we could have done something exponentially better. So we paid to have it shipped to us, paid to have it scanned, paid to have it gone through and find out what is what. Because funny enough, none of them were labeled properly. They all literally ended up being missing from all 4 of those people. And that took ages to find that out. Eventually, we were able to find, I think it's a German VHS that had even more footage, not only than what we were missing, but more than had ever been shown in the U.S. So now we have an extended cut that's never been seen in the U.S. It's got a little more nudity, a little more violence, and it's going to be the best version of the film that we could have dreamed of. It does suck that we go into a little less than HD for the VHS part, but it's been restored and tinkered with in a way that you're not going to love it. You're not going to love it in the HD sense, but you're going to love that the additional footage is there, and so it tempers all of those expectations. It's great. I think you will absolutely adore the release. And final answer, I believe it will be shipping middle of next month. That's not a guarantee, but I believe that it should be ready by then, and I think we will be getting it in hand by the end of April.
Dude, that's amazing. I'm certainly waiting for that. That's exciting. Have you ever gotten a project that you're like, we're gonna pass on this? We don't know that we can do anything with this.
Not only yes, hell yes, that has happened many times. There are a lot of titles that there's also a lot of titles I've just not been interested in, and I don't want to work on them, so I passed on those. But God, just this week we were offered the biggest, not biggest, but like most mainstream title that we could have been given, and I immediately was like, oh no, no, we don't need to say much on this. And then I thought about it for a minute. I said, wait. I can probably get the director, and it turns out less than 20 minutes later, I got the director, and so we're probably going to do something. But that sort of thing, it's every single time it's a question. And not to sound like cocky or full of myself, but my time truly is valuable. And if I can't add something to it, I don't want to do it. I don't just do this for the pennies that we get paid. I do this because I love these movies. And if it's something that I can contribute to in a way that we appreciate, I'll do it. If not, give it to somebody else. Or like in a lot of these labels, just don't do any extras and hope for the best.
Right. We just get a trailer and there you go. Have fun. So if there's anything you can't say, don't go into it. But when it comes to like budget, like how does that work? Do you get a working budget, or do you do like an invoice? Like, hey, this is what it costs us to do so and so.
Right. This is a crappy answer, but it all depends on the company. Some, they are very strict of like, no, all edited, delivered, everything done. We only have genuinely, sometimes I've seen it as low as like $300 that we can spend on this title. For other companies, they're like, pitch us everything that you want to do and list prices, and we'll pick out of that list what we're excited about, and then you can do those. Others will say, here's $2,000. And you can get everything done that you can out of that $2,000. Get as much extras as you can. Whatever's left over is your fee for being a producer. And there's lots of projects I've walked away with no money. So it's literally stuff that we are just putting our heart and soul into, trying to get the best on the disc. And I mean, I've given my fee in some situations to bring on somebody. There's a film coming up that we tracked down the author of the original book that inspired the film to get a commentary with him, and I think that's a pretty rare thing nowadays, and we just passed on our fee to give it to him because he was taking his time to do it. So highly recommend you look at our website. Not everything is updated because, again, very busy person, but if you look on our work at the top link, it shows a ton of the discs that we've worked on. A lot of Deaf Crocodile titles, a lot of TerrorVision titles, not up to date, but we've worked on, I think at this point we're up to just over 100 discs in like just over 2 years, which is kind of crazy. May will be 3 years since we did our first one.
Incredible, dude. I'm so proud of you, man. This is incredible, man. And I know you, so you mentioned you were producing stuff for TerrorVision. Is that on top of someone's favorite, or is it just through the someone's favorite?
No, it's on top of, and then I've done that for Imprint. I've done that for Cult Epics. I've done that for certain companies as they've asked for help. A lot of these companies, they have kind of like Vinegar Syndrome. They have their own built-in hired full-time producers to handle their discs. But when you look at somebody like Cult Epics, it's one person that is running everything for the label.
Wow.
It is crazy. And so he is very hands-on, and so when he wants help on something, I offered to step in and help, and I worked on 4 of those Nobuhiko Obayashi titles for him that he's done. And
yeah.
the 4th one is, I think, shipping like right now. So
Wow.
it's finally that's been a long time in the works.
I love that. That's incredible to hear. I wonder if you've ever been given something and then halfway through you're like, oh God, this is terrible. I don't know that. Or maybe you can't say that. I don't know if you'd rather not.
I can absolutely say yes, that has happened. But the whole credo behind someone's favorite productions is a tired. Everybody makes fun of me for saying it so much, but I always say that every film is somebody's favorite film, and based on that, I want to find the best parts of the film and highlight those when I can. But there are certain movies that don't jive with me. There are certain movies that jive with Will, and he wanted to work on them, and I'll edit his piece and put it on the disc. But maybe I'm not really a part of the creative process.
Copy that. Very good. Question from Kubrick Lover. Brian,
Yep.
what dream project would you like to work on?
Oh man, I mean, this is a very cliche answer, but if I could moderate a commentary of John Carpenter, you'd probably be able to kill me the next day, and I wouldn't even be sad.
That's pretty amazing, man. De Niro says Death Toilet is someone's favorite film.
It's
Maybe. It's possible.
Even the director, 10 minutes after the movie was out, he went, "You know what? This is the best thing I've ever done. It's a pile of shit, but it's the best thing I've ever done," and he loved it.
That's incredible. Well, speaking as the filmmaker, I love that there are fans like you that are keeping the door open for lost and forgotten movies. So keep doing the I would say the Lord's work, but I guess the physical media Lord's work.
Doing our best, yeah.
What are you working on now? Can you tease us with something that's coming up?
Yeah, I can say, and this one is crazy. I haven't even talked about this on my show, so semi-exclusive. We are producing a box set for Severin that we've been working on for a little over 2 years now, and wow. Severin themselves started working on this in 2020, and we still don't even know. It will either be out late this year or early next year, but there are more like cogs in the machine going on this box set than I ever imagined that we could get. But we really went out to uncover everything to figure out the history behind what this box set is over. And the amount of times that you flip over a rock and the cockroaches scatter, and you go, hold on, I want that one. And you go like track somebody down. You find somebody on YouTube that's like this desperate fan that's super interesting and unique. And you go, hey, you clearly love this. Can we license this like sort of like a visual essay that you've done? Can we put it on the disc? Would you like to expand on that? Would you like to make something else with us? We can come visit you and get something new made. We're calling other filmmakers to see, were you inspired by this? Did you help one of these directors that we're working on? It is absolutely an incredible opportunity, and I cannot wait for people to hear the story behind it, because man, some bonker stuff that we're working on.
Do we have a date on when that might come out?
It'll be late this year, early next year. That's all I know. Stuff is still going through QC and finalizing a list of extras, because there are so many. We've literally had to start turning people down.
Wow. Okay, I'm excited. I mean, nothing gets me more excited than a Severin box set, man. There's some good stuff there. Now, speaking of making special features, you've gone and done the opposite. I mean, not the opposite, but I guess in terms of in terms of making the special features, you are distributing the movies now. So tell me how Antenna came about.
Yes, sir. We are in May. It'll be 2 years since I had this gentleman in the center of your screen here, Mr. Francis Galuppi. I had him on my show to talk about his movie Last Stop in Yuma County. Great movie. Everybody should go check it out. And we got about halfway through the interview, and we were done talking about the film. And by then, we were just geeking out about physical media, because he is a diehard fan like us. We were talking about like his favorite commentaries, talking about the stuff that he loves to see on a disc, whatnot. Mm-hmm. And he, in the interview, jokingly said, "Should we start a Blu-ray company, just you and I?" And I went like, "Haha, that's hilarious. Wait, hold on, should we?" And after we got done, I was like, "I mean, I'll put together a proposal and send it to you." And he was like, "All right, man, that's cool." I highly doubt he thought I was going to follow through. 3 months later, I showed up at his house and gave him an entire business plan and pitched him on everything. And he walked away going, "Dude, this is very impressive. I am all in. let's fucking do it. And so Francis Galuppi, who's literally right this moment shooting Evil Dead Wrath in New Zealand, he is a member of our team. He is somebody that is working hard behind the scenes to make this great. Billy Ray Bruton is somebody that I have been working on since 2020 on all of his creative endeavors, and he's got literally 2+ decades of film festival experience and theatrical booking and programming, and me doing physical media. It is a three-pronged approach that is really, I think, the best complementary machine we could have. I don't really know how to explain this, but obviously I've been working on this for almost 2 years, but we only announced just over 2 months ago now. It's 2 months and like a week. We're already booked out the next 15 months theatrically. I've got almost 2 years of physical media planned already. We're at the point where we're getting film submissions daily, and I have to turn almost all of them away. We're doing theatrical booking for some of my favorite companies. We are off to the races. It is going to be incredible.
That's fantastic, dude. I'm glad that it's taken off, because you never know nowadays with when it comes to distribution, it's such a weird Wild West. I was gonna say, if someone had a film, how could they come to you? But I think it looks like your hands are full at the moment.
That being said, I like connecting people. I mean, I've done that with you before. I've done that for a lot of people that really want the best partnership behind the scenes, and I'll happily refer somebody to what makes the most sense. But I gotta be honest, if I see the perfect movie, I'm gonna try to keep it myself. If you're interested, email us at info@antennareleasing.com and we will check it out. We've also got a contact form on the website. Multiple films that we have signed came through that contact form on our website. So it's something we have already pledged. Every single film that comes to us, we will watch the entire thing and give you a response. I really don't like how other companies will just straight ghost people or go 6 months and say, "Oh, you emailed us. Let me go back and read that email." That's not even human. Like, let's actually care about people. And so we're giving time to all of these. We are somebody that we are really caring about people. We are a filmmaker forward approach to all of this. Fran's a director. Billy Ray's directed and produced multiple films. I've produced multiple discs at this point. I've worked on short films before. We have all, in some way or another, been screwed over by distribution companies. And so our real mission here is to do the opposite. We are here to make sure that filmmakers get paid, they get paid quickly, and they get paid fairly. And if you want to see that in the filmmakers that you are supporting, we're kind of the only company pledging to do that right now, which is pretty telling about the industry.
Absolutely. Look, as a filmmaker who's made indie film, the hardest thing, if people say, "Oh, making the movie is the hardest thing." No, the hardest thing is getting people to watch your movie seriously and give it a shot. And I mean, because after you make it, you want people to fucking see it. So, so kudos to you for doing it and helping people get their movie out, man. That's tough.
Yeah, I mean, we are at the point where people are acting confused by our contracts. We had a lawyer try to say, what does this mean? You clearly left something out here. And we're like, no. You get that. Like, that is the filmmaker's portion. We're not here to screw anybody over. Yes, that is what we're standing by. We've had people question. Oh, we had somebody try to say, hey, your take on the physical media here, it probably should be higher, right? And we said, no, like, we want you to get paid. So that's our portion. That's it. And it's kind of crazy. It's wild what people are responding to us with.
Dude, that's phenomenal, because people are scared. I mean, the contracts out there are predatory. They're like, "Oh yeah, you may see money in 6 months." I've never made anything when I've distributed anything independently. I've never made anything back. So you get scared about going to a company and having them just basically use your movie, and then maybe they send you some stickers and a copy of the movie. So how are you handling physical media? Are you guys gonna do? Are you going to go like the OCN route, maybe partner label kind of thing, or on your own?
No, we are going on our own. I mean, I've been doing this for quite some time now. I've worked on more than 100 discs, and again, not to sound cocky, but I can handle it. I've got the contacts. I've pretty much done every step of the process just without putting my name on it. And honestly, the name part has nothing to do with it. It's just a matter of I can control who gets paid what, and for certain distributors out there, that means I stop them from being predatory. And so I'm going to do what I can to make sure that people get appreciated for what they do. They get paid for what they do. They get comp copies as expected. They get whatever they need to be taken care of. And just doing our best to make sure that we are, it sounds like a very Boy Scout thing to say, but like leaving these people better than we found them. And again, No other distributor even approaching things like that whatsoever, which is terrifying when you think about it, because a lot of these people are first-time filmmakers, ready to be taken advantage of, ripe for it, have a great movie. They're probably already at least like $75,000 in debt. Why would I want to step in and fuck them? Like, that doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make me feel like a big person. I might make $20,000 off their film, but I can't sleep at night if I did that.
Oh man, I love hearing that. That makes me very happy, man. That's, I mean, and you know, anyone out there who has a movie, you should be very happy to hear that too, because you'll never hear a distributor say that. I mean, you'll hear them say it, but will they actually carry out what they're doing? I mean, that's different.
Right.
And I 100% believe that Ryan is the guy who would do that, because you're right. I mean, honestly, you wouldn't have anything without the movie. So
Right.
why would you you know, suck the blood out of a thing that is helping you, while you can help the other artists. I mean, that's the hardest thing when it comes to making a movie, is getting an audience, getting someone to give a crap. That's incredible, man. What's the future for you guys? What's coming out? I mean, what are the release windows? I mean, are you going to be in Walmart? All that stuff.
All right, so our first big theatrical release is coming at the end of May. Should be happening right around May 22nd. We are doing a roadshow theatrical release for a film called Stolen Kingdom. It is a documentary about people that went into Disneyland and Disney World and got off of rides and went urban exploring through the studios of Disneyland while they were supposed to be on the ride. And some of them started stealing things. Some of them started taking pictures. And an animatronic in Epcot went missing that's worth about $500,000. And this documentary plays like a full-blown comedy. It is a raucous, great time. There's a celebrity factor to the film. Like I said, urban exploring plays a big part. You see a lot of things behind the scenes that you would never expect to see. But what's crazy about this to me is not only is it Disney-centric, urban exploring, fun, hilarious, the last third of this film is genuinely a true crime documentary. We have CCTV footage. You see somebody get arrested in a like a police station. You see people going like to do warrants on people's doors. And for a documentary that starts like that, you are not expecting that to happen. It is wild. It's amazing. It's never not had a sold out show yet. It is a damn good time. We're going to 21 different cities across the United States with the director in person, all 21 of those cities. Plus, we're playing somewhere like 100 other theaters on top of that. This is going to have a big splash this year, and people are going to be surprised at the moves that we've made behind the scenes. We're already in Alamo Draft Houses. This thing is playing at the Smod Castle, Kevin Smith's theater this year. We've got a lot of big things coming for this film. Yeah, but that starts our theatrical releases every single month. We're going to be releasing one every month after that, at least one. A couple times we might do a couple if we have to squeeze one more in, but our whole ethos here is to not make our films compete with each other. So we're really aiming for one a month. A lot of these other distributors will just sign anything with a pulse, and we don't really want to put out 14 films because 14 films can't survive together. That's just not how it works. We really need to breathe. We have a small team. I need people to be able to focus. And so we're really trying to do one theatrical, one streaming, one VOD, one physical media every month. Could that expand if our team expands? Sure. Is that something that we see happening already? Possibly a little bit. But we need to see some of that income come in first. But because we've been trustworthy and kind to people, doors have opened already, which is pretty crazy for us. We are stoked. We are still dumbfounded that this is happening so quickly. But I think by this time next year, people are not going to be surprised that Antenna is going to be a little bit bigger of a name than you see now.
Phenomenal, man. I'm excited. Are you guys coming to LA?
Not only do we come to LA, I think there's going to be 4 nights from the roadshow within probably a 2-hour drive from you. I think we have one in San Diego, 2 in LA, and maybe even one in Palm Springs. So,
okay.
Yeah, it's going to be a great time. I will happily try to get you a preferred seat in one of those venues.
Oh, let's do it. I'm in. I that sounds great. I mean, I'm a Disney head, so I'm already interested. That's incredible, dude. So you got Stolen Kingdom, and then you got one called Bluebird, right?
Yeah, we just announced Bluebird. That is a film that is premiering at Fantaspoa in Brazil here next month. This is a very tech-centric, kind of surreal romance film that it dips its toe in genre quite a bit, but it is a wonderful, wonderful film. We're very excited. This one's not going to be hitting theaters probably till early 2027, but this is going to be going through the entire festival circuit starting next month. You might have some other chances to see this throughout the year if you check your festivals, but I think people will love this. It's got some names that you'll recognize. It's got a really interesting director who's kind of incredible. Yeah, check it out. This movie's amazing, and people are going to love it.
Bluebird, I love it. And so when it comes to the stuff you're looking for, it just really depends on the movie, right? Like the movie just has to hit you. Like, I mean, are you looking? Would you turn anything down? I mean, obviously nothing disgusting, but are you just kind of looking?
I wouldn't
for
say
a good
that.
Well, I mean, are you looking for a good story, right? Initially.
Looking for a good story. We are not beholden to any genre. The reality is, me and Billy Ray are the two main components of this machine, as Fran is in New Zealand, and so one of the two of us have to be extremely passionate about it. If both of us are kind of about it, it's not worth it. It's not a movie that we're going to blow out. It's not something that we're going to be super excited about filling up theaters for. So we're not going to put our names behind that. But we are kind of doing everything. We've got lots of documentaries, which a lot of distributors are scared of. We've already got, 4 or 5 documentaries. And again, not to toot our own horn, I kind of think 1 or 2 of them might be in the talks for award stuff. They are that good. It's going to be a really great year to see how people respond to them. And when you got something like Stolen Kingdom and people are already so excited about a documentary that we're going to be playing in over 100 theaters, it's setting us up for some really good partnerships, and I can't wait to show people what we're rolling out. There's some names that will surprise you. There's some things that we've done behind the scenes that I'm itching to even break an exclusive right now that I can't. But we in 3 weeks after we announced our company, we got opportunities that I was like, well, we would be really stupid to turn this down. So we have to say yes, but also pinch me because this is weird and we shouldn't be doing this yet. But all right, here we go.
Dude, that's exciting. Well, I'm happy that it's taken off. I'm happy that it's growing exponentially. I'm excited to see the movie. I'll definitely make the LA screening, so we'll keep in touch over that.
Yeah.
Did I miss anything? I feel like those are your 2 big things, right? That's going on at the moment.
2 big things at the moment, but the third thing that a lot of people don't really understand that I still do is I still publish a monthly physical media and film focused magazine.
Yes, that's right.
2 months from now will be 3 years that I've been doing it. We had only been doing about 8 to 12 or 8 to 10 issues a year. We're every single month now, around the first of every month. Commissioned artwork every single month. I've got film historians from all around the world putting in articles. I've got exclusive interviews. We've got I did break this on my show, I think, so I can say it. We've got an exclusive interview with somebody from the Jackass crew coming up in our magazine, so it's not small. These are real things. We are on sale in 15 or 16 stores in the U.S., 1 in Canada, and our first one in the U.K. just started. You can get it worldwide on Amazon. It's called The Physical Media Advocate. It's a real magazine. It's about 40 to 50 pages each month. We've got physical media release dates, news, recommendations, reviews, articles, deep dives, everything. It's kind of crazy.
Phenomenal. I mean, not only are you going into distribution, which is such a, like I said, a Wild West, but you're tackling print, which everyone says print is dying. So, I mean, dude, I was going to say this, but Zach says, does Ryan sleep ever?
Well, I do have 2 kids, and they make me more tired than all of this put together. But the crazy thing is, up until, and you're the first one I'm talking to about this publicly, but I announced on my show last week that last Tuesday, I resigned from my job. I was a full-time federal employee for the last 17 years of my life, and
Wow.
It has been a great time, but also working under this administration has been one of the worst traumatic headaches I've ever had to face. And my mental health had taken an absolute nosedive in different ways. And so I couldn't keep up with this. The things that I've had to do to just maintain over the last year has been wild. But now training wheels are off, and I'm kind of taking a risk on myself here. And so in a couple of weeks, my family won't have health insurance until I can pick it up again. I've got no guaranteed income. And so now I'm just betting on everything on red and hoping that the house doesn't win this time.
If only Jess Franco would pay money, right? If only you could monetize Jess Franco.
That would be great.
Damn, brother. Yeah, I mean, I hear you. It's tough. I mean, similar. I mean, my wife is a teacher now, so luckily healthcare is sort of taken care of. But on my side, creatively, it's a freelance business. It's
Right.
kind of like, making special features. Like, you never know what's going to happen.
Yep.
So I hear you on that, and it's frustrating and it's scary, but more power to you for championing the artists who don't get the cheering section normally. So I on behalf of all the artists, thank you for doing that, man.
Happily, and one thing that will make you excited, another exclusive that we haven't said publicly yet, we are in the next couple months launching an Antenna podcast, and one of the big things that we're going to be doing is educating people on the industry. We're going to be bringing on filmmakers, other distributors, theatrical exhibitors, people from like every facet of the industry to share things like prices, things that they charge, things that they get paid, horror stories, things that are common, stories about how like marketing costs are built into so many of these contracts where people are signing to get a minimum guarantee, and I got $10,000 for this film I'm $80,000 in debt on, this is amazing, and then the contract has buried that they're going to be charged $50,000 in marketing. And the big put our money where our mouth is, we're not charging any marketing fees. There's nothing being charged to the filmmaker to show that we're invested in the film. You made the film, we're going to put it out, we're going to put all of our money into it and do what we can to help you.
Wow. Well, if you want anybody to tell the truth about making indie films, I'm there. I do not, I won't hold back. I won't be like, well, I got paid a little bit. I will say dollar amounts, all that stuff.
Let's do it.
It's hard out there for a pimp, man. I'll tell you. How's the YouTube going, man? How's that? Obviously you've kept up with the Thursdays like we talked about.
Yeah.
But have you seen sort of a shift with everything going on behind the scenes?
I mean, the reality is I love my show. I love doing what I do. I love physical media, so I won't stop. But I kind of fell out of love of doing my interviews that I was kind of known for the longest time, because if I wasn't interviewing somebody in physical media, nobody gave a shit. And even though all these YouTubers will say that we're not doing it for views, it's for the love of the game, if nobody's watching, it's not fun, because like a lot of the community behind that is a part of that. So comments and things like that. And if nobody's watching, that doesn't exist. I've hit a point where I've brought on Brian Usna. I interviewed Brian Usna last year, giant name, but because he doesn't work for Vinegar Syndrome, he's got like less than 500 views on my channel. But if I interview Oscar Bescher from Vinegar Syndrome for the third time, it'll have 2,000 views in less than a week. It makes no sense to me. I think it's August, I interviewed Joe fucking Dante. I haven't even edited it yet because I've no motivation to, because I'm taking so much time on everything else, and 12 people will watch it. So what's the point?
Dude, I hear you. Well, I think VS is like a special sauce for YouTube. Yeah. I mean, I think all my VS videos do well. Everything else just kind of like whatever. And it's like, yeah, it's frustrating. So I think it's because we're in that physical media space, and Vinegar Syndrome has become the big daddy.
I interviewed Sean Baker, and it took 2 years for his video to reach 1,000 views. Sean fucking Baker took 2 years.
Wow.
2 years to get to 1,000 views.
Yeah, dude. YouTube, you can never predict the audience, dude. You should not predict who's watching. It's kind of nuts, but it's the beauty and the pain of it. All, I guess. All right, my brother. Well, listen, I'm not going to keep you much longer because I want you to get back to your family and all that stuff. Is there anything else you'd like to say, kind of last-minute thoughts about stuff we should look forward to? Anything you want to plug your Thursday show? Anything coming up?
Yeah, I mean, first off, I know people always have the question of the physical media from Antenna. When's that going to start? We're pretty set on November is going to be the first release. Pre-order should come out in October, so you can plan on that. The current plan is to be fairly monthly after that. Stuff happens. If we're going to miss one, I'm sorry in advance. We are brand new, but we're going to do our best to make that not happen. So you can plan on October, November to see more coming from us. The other big thing, every Thursday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern, 6:30 p.m. Pacific, I'm live with some guest. We're talking about all of the physical media announcements for the week. We talk about film. We talk about things we're picking up, things that we're watching, things that we're into, interviewing them ever so slightly. So that kind of takes the place of the other thing. But it's a great time. And if you really like all that, check out patreon.com/disconnected. I've got, in my opinion, the best film community online. I've got a ton of people in a Discord that we are literally like very close friends. We have been in there for more than 4 years at this point. We've gotten a lot of new people recently, and it's been really interesting to see just people come in and be accepted immediately. I think there's a lot of gatekeeping online communities surrounding film, and we're not like that. I mean, you can post every day that you're watching a Marvel movie for the 84th time, and we're still be like, yeah, do you like it? I mean, I think it sucks, but that's cool. Congrats.
Question from Kubrick. Are you going to be in stores?
I mean, yeah, we are. We're not. I'm not in the business of hiding my releases from you. So yeah, we're going to be in all of the third-party retailers: Orbit, Diabolic, Atomic, Brother Belial, all 74 that have popped up in the last 3 years. There's so many of them out there now. We're going to be on Amazon as early as we can. The weird thing is Amazon has their own sort of back-end weirdness that sometimes they show up like 2 months later than expected, but they'll be there someday. It's just it's tough. A lot of these people that help ease the way for you to step into the market, they take advantage of new people, and that's one of the things that I'm here to fight against already. So we don't really want to go with them, but that means it's a lot more difficult for us. So we're gonna do what we can to stand up against it. We're gonna do what we can to keep costs low for all of you, and try to get you the best product in your hands.
Phenomenal. I mean, you could always release porn. That makes money.
It really doesn't, but if I find a niche that does, I'll consider it.
Well, I will say probably not anymore because you could just Google boobs. But you know, right. back in the day, it was a moneymaker.
It was.
Okay. Last question. What was your favorite release of last year? Physical media release. That's probably a big question, but that's your thing. So you probably have 10,000 choices.
Yeah, I mean, it was a crazy year. I got to say it like that because there was individual restorations that were mind blowing. There was box sets. I mean, it's a terrible mainstream answer, so I'm not going to go with this. But like, how happy are all of us that we finally have Nightmare on Elm Street? All of them looking good and proper for the first time ever. I got to be honest. People like Radiance and Deaf Crocodile continuously putting out unseen things that most of us have never even heard of, with immaculate restorations with proper film historians. They have been incredible, but kind of selfishly, and it's weird because I worked on the release, but Dirty Work from Vinegar Syndrome is one of my it's one of my favorite films of all time, and to see him finally get the dirtier cut, and to see Oscar put so much into like respecting Saget and Norm and everything about what went into that film, giving the smallest names imaginable time to be a part of a documentary and individual interviews, to see them roll out like a big 4K of Dirty Work is so stupid on the surface, but when you break it down, like, this is one of those pop culture titles that a generation latched onto, that most people looked at and said, if you like this movie, you're weird and I don't like you. But all of us that love that movie kind of found each other, and now we're all fans of physical media. And because of that, we got a 4K of the dirtier cut. So life is good, and I can't really complain.
I've not picked it up yet, but I'm excited to check out the dirtier cut.
It's worth it.
It's a good film, and Norm obviously and Bob, they're incredible titans of comedy.
Absolutely.
Excellent. Well, everyone, Disconnected, it's down in the description. You can follow him on YouTube. I'm going to put the link for the Advocate as well. There's a website for that as well, right?
Yeah. It's technically, you can go to the Someone's Favorite Productions website, and it's under publications. You can find it under that tab. It's on Amazon. It's everywhere. You can get it at Scarecrow Video, Videodrome in Atlanta, Granby, Massachusetts, at Legends, like 15 other stores. You can find a lot of the stores on the website too. I got to update that. That's
fantastic. Okay, Ryan, thank you so much, my friend. It's been an honor and a pleasure, and I know you're booked out like until like the summer, but I'm dying to get back on Thursday, man. So let me know when it opens up.
I will have you. It's genuinely an honor to be back here with you, and just to show how much it's an honor. The day I met you, I bought this shirt in Pasadena, California. I'd wear that tonight. So just stoked to be here. You're amazing. Thanks for all you do.
Thank you, brother. It's an honor and a pleasure. And thank you all for watching at home. Make sure to follow Ryan. I'm sure you do already, but if you don't, he's got a lot of stuff going on. Go check him out. It is Tuesday, and we're winding it down. Thank you so much for joining me. As always, It is a pleasant evening to be talking movies with you. Unless that movie is Beaks.